let's get into this astrology. Let's get into what is happening this week. Again, it's this post massive change, right? We just had, and I'm going to start actually, got the cards. Let's go ahead. I'm going to start shuffling and everything. So there was, we had a significant week last week. If you haven't checked that out yet, you can go back on on my YouTube or the highlight reel on Twitch and check that out. Because Jupiter just went into Taurus, no big deal. Had an immediate meetup. We had a moon. We had, there was just, the list was plentiful. I think it was like a 2-hour Twitchy Tuesday with everything. Oh, and the sun went into Gemini, things. Mars got into Leo, things. And so now we're kind of like coming off of that. We're coming off of that. Maybe that's why I'm feeling this way, like riding that high and then like, okay, now we have time to process. Now we have time to really think through this stuff. Additionally, we were working with a T-square all week, a fixed grand cross, which we talked about in the last Twitchy Tuesday as well. And that fixed grand cross or square, however you refer to it, has shifted. So it was in the fixed signs. Lots of magnetic conversations because it was a 0 degree, lots of initiations. It's like you just got to go on the ride. It's like being put in the roller coaster, and there is nothing that you can do but hold on. You can't get off, you can't move. It is an initiatory process. It's like, for any of you that have ever indulged in like too much excess, you got to let your body process the excess before you can come back to stasis, right? And you got to figure it out. You got to ride that wave. And that was that kind of fixed grand cross. Like, we were in the middle of it. Things were happening. And now it's just maneuvered. It's just changed. It is now a T-square. It's shifted to incorporate the moon. And that is, so we're still in this, like, I feel very like tight. Like, I keep getting, let's see what the cards say. I keep getting this, like, this tightness, like something has us in its grips and it's like not ready to let go yet. It's just not ready to let go yet. It hasn't completed or done what it needs to do. And however, it has gone from fixed to mutable. So that's going to happen on the 27th is when we have this mutable T-square. That will trine Jupiter, by the way. So it's this mutable T-square, North Node, Mercury, Uranus, like all of these. It will trine the Taurian energies, which are Jupiter, North Node, Mercury, and Uranus. That's all what's in Taurus right now. So the T-square is going to be trining those and making those applied trines to those planets. And it's mutable, which means it can go far and fucking wide. Anything is up for grabs when mutable energy is around. Anything is possible. There is no container for it. And we've got the trine, which is a positive aspect, right, into Jupiter and Uranus. What is that going to feel like, right? Like, what is this massive expansion in ways that we can't even think or comprehend? Or this like, whoa, yo, that just dropped into my mental space. I have to go sit down for a second. I wasn't ready for that. Wow. It's going to be really interesting. Again, going from fixed to mutable energy is also, especially in this constriction point, is going to be another really interesting energetic dynamic shift. So for those that have strong mutable placements, just know that T-square is coming. If you have strong fixed and mutable, hi myself, hi. This is just going to keep that pressure on, keep that constriction on. And then during this time, the moon is conjuncting Mars here, right? So, and I know we don't talk a lot about the moon on this Twitchy Tuesdays. We talk more about the general aspects with the planets and then our lunations. But we don't really go through like moon aspects here. But this one is important with the T-square, the mutable T-square, that the moon is conjunct Mars. So it's really about like, how are you feeling on the actions that you've taken since the Taurus moon. How are you feeling about the things that have happened, the actions that have been like maybe not you took, but were kind of like potentially taken for you? Choices that were made for you that you didn't really have a say in. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about where you're at right now? And really, yes, this Taurus moon is part of that, but since the 16th when the fixed grand cross square started to click into place. So how are you responding? How are you feeling about it? What types of viewpoints, what types of intuitive hits? Because again, Mars just went through Cancer, spent that whole time in Gemini. He's got some of that strong ability to tune in right now. And we're going to talk a lot about Mars in this one. Mars has a really this is like for me at least, and this is why I bring it in here, but 2023 is really, and 2022 was really like, let's get to know Mars more. Let's get to know how Mars works in your chart. Let's get to know Mars and what he does just in general. Six of Cups. What Mars does like for all of us, right? How you can utilize Mars, how you can take this planet, how you can take the options. Like, look, Moni and I talked about this on Red Pill Shot. I love options. Options are my jam. I gotta have the options. I'm a Gemini rising. I gotta have options. Gotta have options. Gotta have all the cups that I can. I want to know what is out there before I make my choice. But how does Mars work with you? Because Mars is the one that actually makes the choice, takes the initiative, moves forward, does the things that you need to do. And he's the one that can help this little woman right here. Like, here's this little woman getting the flower in the cup that she wants. Let me give that to you. Let me bring that to you. Let me explore that with you. So the other thing that's going on right now is, we're just getting into these Gemini vibes. We are really just starting this Gemini journey. And I had this moment. What do we have? 9 of Swords. I had this moment the other day where I was like, why is college graduation season, which I mean, hello, this is how I felt at the end of my journey. I was elated to be graduating college, but I also it was tears of joy because I don't have to deal with all of this shit no more. I don't got to deal with all of this no more. I don't have to deal with the papers due. I don't have to deal with all of the things, right? And why does graduation season revolve around the start of Gemini season, right? Like it could be Cancer, that's the start of summer. It could roll back, be Taurus, but I love that it sits in Gemini because it truly, this Gemini and Sag access point, it truly is about like, you got all this knowledge, now what are you going to do about it? And is that freaking you out? With great power comes great responsibility. And that to me is like a beautiful, beautiful saying of the Gemini Sagittarius access point. With great knowledge comes great responsibility. And I just heard Thanos in my head, I too am cursed with knowledge. And so it's this is the energy that we're getting into, is into this Gemini, this mind space. Let's see. What else do we have before we get to the days? Oh, yes. Okay. So before we get into these days and I break down everything day by day, it's time to really, we really have to remember, and it is going to be very important as we move forward, to remember Mars's journey over this year. Remember Mars's journey, what he has gone through. It's time to remember our warrior. We did a whole Twitchy Tuesdays on Mars as the warrior archetype. I will link that in this video. If you are on Twitch, you can totally find that already. You can find the highlight for that. But if you are on YouTube, I will link it at this point in the video so that way you can go back and watch that, because we have to, Six of Wands, we have to remember Mars's journey. This was a hard fucking fought journey, y'all. Mars, 2022, 2023, I am learning how Mars works with me in my chart. I am learning how Mars shows up for me. He went on campaign. He went on a journey, and it was hard fought. It was hard won. He should be celebrated. You should be celebrating yourself for your wins. All of this was the accumulation of the things. He had to go through something, had to come back and bridge that in. So he needs to remember that, because it's time. Like, we can't let go of what Mars taught us or what Mars has been doing, because Venus is going to come in June. We're almost there. Venus is going to come into Leo and extend her stay there. She will be retrograde in Leo. So she has a significant period of time in Leo. Mars is going ahead of her. Mars is setting that stage. Mars is being what he needs to be, that masculine action taker that is moving forward. So that way Venus can come behind and do what she needs to do in there. She can create, she can intuit, she can like grab things out of the ether and put them together and bring them out. Right? She can hone in on all of her self-expression. She can feel safe and confident and secure in bringing her full self out to create the magic that she needs to create. And Venus, look, Venus is sitting in Cancer right now, looking at Mars like, listen, bro, don't fuck this up. Don't fuck up and end up in jail. Seriously, because I know, Mars, it's literally been like over a year since you've been in a fire sign, but do not fuck around and fuck this up. Like, Venus needs him to pass go. Venus needs him to collect $200. Venus needs him to keep going around the board and buying up fucking properties, putting hotels down, right? She does not need to save his ass in jail. She does not need to burn her only get out of jail free card. And for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, go and play Monopoly, right? She needs him to be there. She needs him to be leading forward. So that, I just want to preface that for, and wanted to preface that for this week, because that is a really important part of what we're going to be talking about as we get into this daily astrology journey. So I am going to, oh, what did we just have? Seven of Wands. Boy, if that's not Mars winning his journey, right? Between the 6 and the 7 of Wands, he's powerful. He's doing his thing. We love us some Mars. Keep going, Mars. We believe in you. We got you. You can do that.